I know I wrote a book, right? It's called Buy a Game, and it's free. Click the link down there, you got it.
DreAllDay.com.
Today we're talking about easier for you and harder for you. I don't know if any of you ever heard this. I don't know if it's a cliche, but it's a saying that people say in business and in leadership. They say when you raise the bar, you lose the losers, and when you lower the bar, you lose the winners. That basically means that if you make things easier to get done, you make the barriers to entry lower, you make it easier for people to get in, you make it easier for people to win. What happens is all your leaders, all the people who really want to strive for greatness and really go for perfection and work hard, they go away when you make it too easy. When things are too easy, the people who really have a high level of value don't want anything to do with it. And I'm going to show you, and if you think about it, it ties into everything you do in life. When you make things hard, when you make it hard to win, when it's really difficult to get success in something, when it's hard to get involved, when it's hard to get a job, when it's hard to get a certain position, when it's hard to make a certain team, you know who makes it? You know who gets the job? You know who gets the success? The really good people, the really high-level individuals. And if you think about it, in anything in life, that's exactly how it works, right? The stuff that's cheap, like you ever been to the dollar store and bought clothes from the dollar store? Who you see buying clothes from the dollar? Who buys clothes from the dollar store? The people who don't have a lot of money. So people who don't have a lot of something will go to where the bar is very low. That's where they get their success, quote-unquote success. You go to a basketball team that everybody makes a team, everybody gets a participation trophy. What type of talent do you get on that team? Probably not much. You get a lot of bum-ass players who can't play because they know they can make that team. But when you raise the bar, and you make it difficult, to make the team. It's really hard. You got to meet all these standards to make the team. Who makes the team? Only the best players out there. You go to if you ever been to some shops in Miami called Bal Harbor shops, where basically there's all these high-end luxury places where you can buy clothes, pretty much clothing. If you go there, who buys there? Who shops there? People who want to spend a whole lot of money. They got to have a whole lot in order to even walk in there and spend. You got to spend money just to park. You can't even park at Bal Harbor for free. You got to pay just to walk around and look. To window shop, it costs money at Bal Harbor. And what does that mean? The bar is higher. The bar is higher. You're going to lose a whole bunch of the people who can't spend that type of money, who don't want to spend that type of money for whatever reason, will not spend that type of money because the bar is a little bit higher. And it's the exact same thing in anything that you do in life. When you raise the bar, you make it harder for people to be successful. What's going to happen is you're going to lose a whole lot of people. All the mass is going to drop out. So if you're the type of person that needs to have a lot of people around you, or you don't feel good when you don't have enough of a crowd around you, you don't want to raise the bar, because if you raise the bar, what you're going to find is a lot of that crowd is going to be gone. A lot of those masses will disappear when you raise the bar. Now, if you want to get a whole bunch of people around you, you don't care about the quality of those people, all you got to do is just keep lowering the bar. Make it easy as hell for anybody to get involved. Make it easy for anybody to be around you. Make it easy for people to work with you. Make it easy for people to compete with you. Make it easy for people to relate to you. Make it easy for people to say, you know what, I got the same level of success that you got. And guess what? You're going to have a whole lot. Look at those green birds. You're going to have a whole lot of people around you. You're going to have a whole lot of people around you all the time when you lower the bar. When you lower your level, your standards, of the type of person that it needs to be around you, you're going to get a whole bunch of people around you, but they're going to be losers. As long as you don't mind having losers around you, you can have a whole crowd. You're going to have a whole bunch of followers. Now, if you want to have some leaders around you, some successful people around you, some people who think abundant, some people who are success conscious, some people who will push you to do better in your life, what you got to do is raise the bar. You got to raise the bar of your standards. You got to raise the bar of what's acceptable for you. You got to raise the bar of your level of performance. You got to raise the bar of your thinking. You got to raise the bar of the people you hang with. You got to raise the bar of your minimums. And once you raise all those bars, what's going to happen? Number one, you're going to lose a lot of people. A lot of people ain't going to want to hang with you no more. Actually, they're not going to be able to hang with you no more because they're not thinking the way that you're thinking. They're not doing the things that you're doing. They don't have the standards that you have. They're not going to be able to keep up. Pretty much, that's pretty much what it is. And if any of you have ever raised the bar in anything in your life, you know what I'm talking about. Because when you raise the bar, all of a sudden you start losing friends. People stop answering the phone. Actually, they stop calling because you ain't calling them no more because you raised the bar. You ain't calling them and they ain't calling you no more. You don't see them no more. Some years go by, and you looking at them like, damn, they pretty much the same person while you have improved. This is what happens when you raise the bar in anything in life. When you make it harder for you to do stuff, it's harder for other people to do it. You're going to have fewer people with you, but the quality of those people will be much higher. And if you lower the bar, you're going to have a lot of people with you, but the quality of those people will be much lower. That's why they say is lonely at the top, right? Y'all heard that phrase before? That's why it's lonely at the top, because the harder it is to be successful, the fewer people who are willing to pay the price to get that success. You heard the phrase, the cost to be the boss, right? There is a cost. Everybody don't want to pay the cost. Everybody pretty much knows the cost, but everybody don't want to pay the cost. Everybody has it in their account to pay the cost, because it ain't cash. It's energy, effort, mindset, persistence. Everybody has that in abundance if they want it. Everybody don't want to pay it though. Everybody don't want to pay that price. That's why it's lonely at the top. Y'all seen a pyramid before? What's at the bottom of a pyramid? At the bottom of the pyramid is really wide. That's where everybody's at. Whereas it don't cost a lot to stand at the bottom of a pyramid, but to get to the top of a pyramid, that costs something. You got to put something in for that. You got to trade some resources to get to the top of a pyramid. And to get to the top of that pyramid, listen, everybody has it available. Not everybody wants to pay. That's what happens when you make it easier. So when you're looking at anything you're doing in life, this is the point here. Anything you're doing in life, if you look at it and you wish it were easier, stop wishing that it was easier, because all you're doing is asking yourself to become more average. Jim Rohn famously said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish you were better. And I'm amend that statement. Don't wish you were better, because you don't have to wish to get better. All you got to do is decide to get better. So don't wish it were easier, decide to get better. Because when you decide to get better, you'll start to get better. You'll seek and find the information that will help you get better. Know the actions necessary to get better, and then actually take the damn actions that will help you get better, which is the thing that separates the winners from the losers. Because everybody knows what they need to do to get better. You can stop anybody in the street and ask them, what do you need to do to get better at your main goal in life? So, but actually 90% of people you talk to don't have any goals in life. But the 10% who do, ask them what they need to do to get better. They all know what they need to do. Everybody knows, well, I need to be more consistent. I need to work harder. I need to call more people. I need to show up to work more often. I need to work on my game more. I need to spend more time in the gym. I need to work on my confidence. I need to make sure I lift weights. I need to eat the right foods. I need to make sure I go to sleep earlier. I need to be better with my teachers. I need to listen to my coaches more often. Everybody knows what they need to do to be successful. It's not a matter of you don't know what to do. It's a matter of actually doing it. You understand? When people start actually doing the things that they need to do, that's when they start to get success. So people think that information is the the bridge between where they at and where they want to be. That's false. It's not the gap. Everybody has information. Information is free. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2016. You can get information very quickly anywhere you want to look, completely for free. And books, at the worst case, you got to go get a book, and a book will cost you $10. You got it. You got a smartphone, you got $10. All right, so you can go online, you can Google it, you can go on a podcast, you can go to some event, listen to some speaker talk. Information is free. All right, information is not hidden anywhere. It's not information that keeps people from getting where they want to get. It's the fact that the bar is too low. The bar is too low. If the bar is low and you see, here's an easy way to see it. If you see a whole bunch of other people doing the same thing that you're doing, the bar is too low. You're doing something that's too easy. You're doing something that's too simple. That's why a whole bunch of people is doing it. Now, if you want to do something that ain't nobody else doing, you want to separate yourself from the herd, from the group, start doing something that nobody else is doing. Raise the bar. That's all you got to do is raise the bar. You don't have to come up with nothing. You don't have to make up some new thing. You ain't got to do none of that. All you got to do is raise the bar of what you're doing. Exactly. Raise your standards of what you're doing. All of a sudden, what you're going to find is people are disappearing from around you. But the right people will come around eventually, but you got to make sure you're mentally tough enough to go through the period of being by yourself when you lost all the losers, but you haven't yet been established enough to hang with the winners. Do you understand that? You're going to lose the losers, but you're going to go through a period where you're not established enough to be around the winners. Because the winners haven't accepted you yet, because they're looking at you like, we're not sure if this guy's for real. So you got to go through that period of being by yourself a little bit. And that's the part where a lot of people fall off, because they can't handle that. Because humans are social creatures. We like to be around other people. When we have other people around us, it hurts. Even when we're doing something that will help us, it hurts. And the hurt sometimes is stronger than that logic that says we need to do this to get better. You feel me? So everybody, my name is Dre Baldwin. For those who don't know me, I'm on Snapchat at Dre Baldwin. First name, last name. At Dre Baldwin. What else is it? My Twitter is at Dre All Day. My Instagram is also at Dre Baldwin. Any business inquiries, I take those through email, dre@dreallday.com. My website's called dreallday.com. You can get my first book for free. My first book's called Buy a Game. So go to dreallday.com, put your email address in, put your name in, and I'll send you that book completely for free, PDF version. And oh yeah, my podcast. Thank you, Julian, for mentioning that. If you listen to podcasts, go get the Work on Your Game podcast. Work on Your Game without the F podcast. Or just look up my name, Dre Baldwin. Subscribe to my podcast, rate my podcast, and share my podcast. And if you don't know what podcasts are, or you never listen to podcasts, then guess what? Now you do. Now you know what they are. They're audio, basically like the radio. It's like episodes on the radio. And you're going to start listening to podcasts, because the first podcast you will ever listen to is going to be the Work on Your Game podcast by Dre Baldwin, by Dre All Day. So go to wherever you find podcasts, go on SoundCloud, look up Dre Baldwin, look up Work on Your Game, and start listening to my podcast. Not now, but right now. Everybody, oh yeah, just go to dreallday.com/podcast. Anyway, that'll also give you a direct link to my podcast on iTunes. If you're not on iTunes, get on iTunes. And if you can't get on iTunes, get on SoundCloud, get on Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts, and get it. Everybody, work on your fucking game. Dre All Day. Follow me on social media, Snapchat. You see it right there. The code's going to come up. Dre Baldwin. My Instagram is the same name, at Dre Baldwin. My Twitter and my Periscope, both at Dre All Day. Y'all know my website, dreallday.com. Any business inquiries, hit me via email, dre@dreallday.com, or you can just send me a snap. Work on your game. Dre All Day.